In this video, I am going to show you how to add and change pages. Pages are just like posts in the sense that they hold information, but there are a few differences. The first difference is that pages have their own templates. Now, a template just changes the way a page might look. When we go to our store, this page holds these products. This is called a portfolio template. We have it set up as 4 across and 3 down before we move on to a page 2, but all of the pages, regardless of whether we're looking at a category of Nikon or Canon, all look like this because this is the portfolio style. If we go to Photo Blog, this is a blog page. In the blog page, the posts are one on top of the other, with the latest posts being at the top. And we have set it up so there are 12 posts, and then those posts automatically go into the archive posts section, which is in the sidebar. A blog page is not a full width page. You can see that we have a sidebar on the right. On that sidebar, we have archive posts, which are posts that are older, but we can also have other information there, and later when we do widgets, we'll show you some of the ways to put things there. If you look at About Us, you can see this is the full width page. There is no sidebar, no images. We haven't put in any images, although you can, but it is basically just a text page. Another page style might be a contact page. A contact page has a contact form built in. The second important difference is that pages can hold posts. For our purposes, posts are either products, like we have on the Our Store page, or blog posts, which become articles on the blog page. So let's quickly look at the page interface. We can edit this page. It looks very similar to posts. It has the same menu bars, the same ability to style, and even a way to add an Amazon product to the page. But because we've decided this is a blog page, even if we put text in this area here, it's not going to show up on the page. The blog page and the portfolio style page, which is what holds products, don't use text. They only use the posts that are supposed to go into them. So just be aware of that. Whereas if this was a full width page, then you would be adding text and it would show up on the page. Let's take a look at what else is in here. If you see on the side, there's a category area. That category area is not working on this page. That is a holdover from the general WordPress design. But this particular template overrides that category area.
Where's the override? The override!
And puts it into the theme
Where's
settings
the override?
area.
The override!
I showed you that in the creating posts, and I'll go back to it in just a second. So categories do not work on pages, so be aware of that. We look at the page attributes. That's actually where we find the various styles. You don't see a blog style or a portfolio style because that is in the theme options, but you do see a few other styles in here. The default template is a non-full width page. Archives is a page that has old posts. You remember seeing before on the blog page we had an archive area. Well, that was a sidebar archive. This would be a full page archive. We have a full width page, which is what we used for About Us. Now the home full slider and the home no services, we use a slider on our home page. These are already set up, so you don't need to ever touch them. If you wanted to change your home page to one that didn't have the 4 services boxes underneath, the area here are called services, so you can have the home page with a slider and no services by changing that style. And you can also have a page that just deals with links. And a redirect is just a page that actually redirects to another page. If you were to add a redirect page, then when people came to that page, it would automatically shoot them to another page. So those are the various templates. We don't need a featured image because the featured image is the image that pops up here. That is the featured image, but because the page isn't showing up inside of another page, we don't need a featured image. You probably won't need to use any of these page styles except primarily a full width page. But I also want you to remember that even though you make a page, people still have to know where that page is. They still know where to find it, and we do that by adding it to the menus. Remember, in the other video on creating posts, you go to Appearance, Menus, and here are your list of pages. And if you wanted to add a page, you would just click on that and add it to the menu. And then again, you can sort and decide where you want that to go in the list. And finally, the actual portfolio and blog pages, as I mentioned, are done in the division theme options. I'm going to go over this in another video in detail, but just as a reminder, this is where all the parameters for those pages are set. The reason that it's done this way for this particular theme is there are a lot more parameters than are normally available to those pages, and it wasn't easy for the designer to put those parameters into the page interface, so they decided to put it here where they had a little more control. So that's it for now. We'll be having a lot more videos in the future, so keep an eye out.